this incredible presentation. Give yourself a hand. What you're going to see here today is just going to blow you away. I am so thankful that I'm part of this company. And what I want to do, I want to just take a moment to introduce our speaker this morning. Is that okay? Yeah. This gentleman I've known for approximately 18 years. And all I can tell you is because of the knowledge that he has in this industry and because of who he is, he's helped over 38 people earn over $1 million. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. That's kind of the person you want to learn from. Would you agree? Yes. I happen to be one of those people. And what I did is 20 years ago, sat in a room just like this and learned from this gentleman in Jacksonville, Florida. So I want you to pay particular attention. I'm going to read this so I don't forget. Let me tell you a couple of accolades this gentleman has. He's been in this industry since 1985. He's earned over $25 million. $25 million. How many people with a show of hands have done that so far? Me either. That's why I'm here and that's why I'm listening. He has built organizations of over 400,000 people, and in every single company he's been involved in, he has gone to the top and brought all of his friends with him. Isn't that nice? Yeah. That's what he's going to do over here. How many people have ever seen Barbara Walters, John Stossel? This gentleman has been interviewed time and time again on TV, on that show, multiple magazine articles. He was taught by a billionaire, and he has joined this great company because of the potential income that can be earned by each and every one of us. I think the most important thing that I want to say about my friend and my mentor is he has a huge heart in his chest cavity. He cares about people. He truly does. And the information that this gentleman has can actually change your future and your family's financial picture. So if you could, I'd like for you to give a warm Southern California Gano greeting to my friend, mentor, and my brother, Mr. Robert Hollis.
Wow. Wow. Please sit down. How's everybody doing? I know a lot of you are here, and I'm going to be very, very quickly. Again, my name is Robert Hollis, but I first want to thank my dear friend Fred Herzog. One of the things that's pretty amazing about Fred is Fred and I and his family and my family went on 6 vacations together last year. Now, it wasn't a weekend either. Okay, so how many people in this room would like to take all their friends and family to vacations, and guess what? They keep fighting you for the check on things. So there is a lot of things people always go, well, listen, is this all about money? No, this is about making your family and friends wealthy so they can pay for everything. Okay, all right. So again, my name is Robert Hollis, and what I'm going to do for the new people there in this room, thank you for coming here, and for the people that are watching this, all I want you to do to really quickly is just open up your mind. I mean, how many people in this room or on this video actually brought somebody that knows everything? It's always funny to me that people know everything, but you look at their lifestyle and you can tell they don't know everything. You can tell by the vehicle they drive, where they live, what they don't have in their bank account. And all I want to tell you is that 24 years ago, I got introduced to this, and I was sitting in an audience just like you guys. And I had my arms crossed. How many people in this room are willing to admit they have an ego? Okay, ego stands for, EGO stands for edging God out. And all I can tell you is that I was in a position where I sat in the back of the room and I was an auto mechanic from North Dakota. Now, how many people in this room know if I'm an auto mechanic from North Dakota and I can pull this off, that you can do it too? And I'm telling you, you can. But guess what? You got to open up your mind. Your mind's like a parachute. And it's only when your mind opens up that you can actually gather some new information. So what I'm going to do is share with you exactly what happened to me 24 years ago. It's going to be a little more high tech, but you're going to see exactly what I've seen. And I hope that some of you go, wow, that makes sense. Now, the first thing you got to do to open up your mind, and I pray that every one of you do not get in this situation, but how many people in this room have ever been at the right place at the right time? Very few hands. One of them is today. I can guarantee you one of them's today. And I'll talk about that. But the one thing is that, how many people in this room have been at the wrong place at the wrong time? All right? Let me tell you a little bit about me. All I ever did was do exactly what I was told to do to be successful. Now, I know that some of you that are watching this, you're going, listen, I was taught how to be successful. All you need to do is go to school and get good grades. Now, I was one of those guys that figured out really early that people that had A pluses advanced, and people with D minuses advanced. So why work so hard? How many people have tried that one? That's what I did. And I was told then go to school. I didn't feel like I was that good at school. So what I did is I picked a trade school and decided to be an auto mechanic. And all I did is went out there and found a good job and then worked really, 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 really hard. Now, how many people in this room have ever can remember going to your first job? Okay? Can you remember how excited you were? I mean, I got there early. I took no breaks. I took a half-hour lunch. I stayed later. And I knew if I worked harder than everybody, that guess what? My supervisor, my boss would recognize my efforts, and I would slide through this promotions and go all the way to the top. I would get raises. I would get promotions. I would get, extra weekends off. How many people have tried this? And being at the wrong place at the wrong time, right over here in Glendale, California, at a place called Johnny Lael Toyota. I was working as a mechanic, and a van slipped off a hoist, and to show you how intelligent I am, I tried to stop it. It didn't work. My back went against my toolbox, and it landed on my knee and totally hyperextended my knee. It tore all my ligaments. All I can remember about that is when I went to the hospital in the ambulance and the doctor looked at it, and when he put his hand on my pants, there was like a tourniquet. And he said, you know what? Oh my God, you're in trouble. Now, how many people want to hear that from a doctor? And I was in shock and a little bit of panic, and what ended up happening is I had to go on workman's comp. Now, how many people in this room, I'm not asking you to raise your hand here, but when you're in bad financial situations, you become very open-minded. It shreds the ego a little bit. And so I was okay for, 30 days and 60 days. Then 90 days, all of a sudden, the bill collectors start calling. And banks don't care how good you did before, it's what you did last month. How many people know what I'm talking about? And all of a sudden it became, these bill collectors are calling me up. Well, when can you expect to get us some money? And I said, as soon as I get some. And I hope that none of the people here in this room have to deal with bill collectors, but I started getting to the point where they would call me, and I'd say, hey, listen, is there any way you could call me tomorrow at 7:30? And they go, why? And I said, well, I got my electricity cut off, and if you call me, it'll wake me up so I can go to a job interview. Of course, they didn't like that, you know what I mean? But it went into 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Then they went in and did an MRI, found out that they didn't get it totally fixed, and I had to go through another surgery. So now, how many people in this room, if your main source of income, I went from, $4,000, $5,000 a month, take home to $900. And I started losing everything. And I just pray to God, and I mean this for everyone that's watching this, I pray to God you never wait to make a decision until it gets that bad. Because here was the breaking point for me. All I was doing is driving home. I picked my son up, which is here today. 26, will be 27 in a couple of days. And I was driving him home, and I pulled over to the shoulder of the road, and I stopped. And I didn't know how to explain to my 6-year-old son. He looked at me, and he said, Dad, if you just go up a couple more blocks and hang a left, our apartment's right there. And I didn't know how to tell my son that I was hiding the car from the repo man. And I pray to God that some of you in this room, something snaps before you get to that position. And I don't know what happened, but I drew a line in the sand. I said, you know what? No more. No more am I going to settle for second best. And I stopped doing that stuff that a lot of people are watching is doing. I was blaming the world. I was a victim. Oh my God, why does this have to happen to me? Oh, my life is so bad. And I finally said, no more. And it was the second that I drew that line in the sand that someone called me up and said, listen, you need to take a look at this. I'm really excited about it. I wasn't one of those people that said, what is it? Because I was open-minded. I said, listen, tell me about it. He says, I bet this guy's making $60 grand a month. I said, I'll come pick you up. How many people in this room know what I'm talking about? When you get at a right time in your life, everything starts to click. So when I made that decision, now I'm going to show you exactly what I seen 24 years ago. I hope it makes as much sense to you as it did for me. But just be open-minded. Your mind's like a parachute. It only works when it opens. Is that fair? So here we go, and we'll go pretty quickly. The first thing is Think and Grow Rich. I had a multi-billionaire give me a book called Think and Grow Rich. Now, I know a lot of you might not hang around with billionaires. Neither did I. I worked for one. And when he heard I got put on workman's comp, he gave me this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, please listen to this. If a billionaire gives you a book, and I know that I'm not a billionaire, but if you're new in this room and you haven't read this book, do me a favor. Please read the book. It's a really small book, and believe it or not, this book right now is one of the top 5 selling books of all times. It was written in the 1930s. Now listen to this. Andrew Carnegie was the wealthiest person at the time, and today he would be worth over $100 billion, 3 times more than Bill Gates. And what he did is he hired a little cub reporter named Napoleon Hill to basically write this book. He got him interviews with the wealthiest 500 people of that time. Now think about this. J.C. Penney's, Woolworth, Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt, queens, kings. And he did interviews with these people, and it took him 30 years to do all the interviews, and then he put them in a book. And they had 3 things in common. 3 things. How many people want to know what those 3 things are? Get the book. No. No. I'm going to give you them today, okay? But bottom line in this book is pretty amazing some of this stuff from the book. The first thing that is said in the book, and listen to this one. I'm reading through it, and it says you do not have to be intelligent to be successful. That's why it's my favorite book. The first principle is called OPI, other people's ideas. How many people know that, you look at some of the stuff that's sold out there. Starbucks did not invent coffee. Okay? McDonald's did not invent the hamburger. Henry Ford did not invent the automobile. So all he did is very simply said that Mercedes invented the automobile, brought it over to the United States, and made a lot of them. How many people in this room know where General Motors came from? 3 executives came to Henry Ford and said, listen, they're black. You're just building black cars. And he says, listen, if it's not broke, don't break it. And so these 3 executives said, we're getting all kinds of complaints and letters saying, can't you make a car in white, red, and blue? The American flag? And he said, no. So they started their own company called General Motors. Anyone want to guess what they colored the cars? Red, white, and blue. They took the same idea and just made it a little better. Just like, MSN was the first search engine. Then came Yahoo, then came Google. Do you think that everything in the world upgrades like this? Yes, absolutely. There's always someone coming out with a better idea. The other thing on this book is how many people knew that 3% of the people employ the other 97%. This is a big issue right now in America. Why? Because how many people know that now that Obama's in office, and let me not go on a tangent here, but you know what? Whether you like him or not, would you please pray for him? Please? I mean, he's going to need it. He already needs it. But the bottom line is he's going to make new taxes on the people that make over $200,000 a year. And it came out that guess how many people in the United States make over $200,000? 3%. Interesting, huh? So how many people would like to figure out how to slide into that 3%? Here's the first thing the book says. Don't listen to people that are in the 97. Ding! Because some of you are going to watch this, and the first thing you're going to do is go back to people that are 97%ers and go, what do you think? And they're going, I don't think you should do it. And you'll go, okay. And you wonder why things continue to stay the same. It's ridiculous. So OPI, let me share with you. Very simply, a guy comes up with a great idea. An entrepreneur. How many people in this room have a job? You work for one. Another clue. This is just basic stuff. But bottom line, a guy comes up with an idea and he starts sharing it with their family and friends. Now, Henry Ford said this too. How do you, in this book, guess what all 500 people said would have been the #1 key to their failure? Listening to family and friends. So Henry Ford went to his family and his friends and said, listen, I'm going to build automobiles. What do you think? And they go, you're an idiot. So he did it. There's some people in this room that are going to go to people and go, listen, I'm thinking about starting my own business, and they're going to say no, and you're going to go, okay. Read this book. Does that make sense? So now the next thing you see here is finally you find some people that will believe you. And they're vice presidents. Then you got national, regional managers, and then local managers. And then finally down here you got employees. Now, how many people know that we have more employees than owners? And how many people think that to continue to stay that way? So please understand that we're taught how to be successful, every one of you. Remember, all you got to do is go out and get good, and then go out and get a good... Yeah, you guys know. You guys already went to my same school. And then all of a sudden you look at what we're told to do is start at the bottom and work our way up. And as you work up, how many people know that as soon as you get in the middle, you're waiting for someone to what? Retire, die, or get fired? Real, three really positive things, right? And how many people, I know some people in this room that have tried to climb this corporate ladder, and when it doesn't work, they go to another company. And then they go to another company. Does anyone know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over, expecting a different result. Everyone that's watching this right now, I'm telling you right now, you want one or more of the 5 areas in your life to change. You'd like your spiritual life, your physical life, your mental life, your social life, and your financial life changed. You just don't want to do anything. And a president just got elected after a year of campaigning on what? Change. How many people think that it should be the time of personal responsibility? Why? Because very simply, we were taught this, and all major corporations use this, don't they? Even Gano Excel on a corporate level uses that. Now, what is this shaped like? A pyramid. And why would we do stuff like that? I don't know. Maybe because our universities do it? So this is Harvard University. You pick the college or the university of your choice, but you got presidents. You also got, deans. You got grad students. Are there more students than deans? Okay. And what about our government? You got a president, vice president, Congress, Senate, state government, local government. And then what do you got at the bottom? Taxpayers. Now, how many people think that the guys in the middle make decisions for us? See, it was amazing. I just seen a cartoon just recently, and it showed a lady sitting in front of a banker. And the banker looked at her and she said, you know what? It's amazing that the government made a decision to give you guys our money, and now you got to make a decision whether or not you're going to give it back to me with interest. I mean, how many people do believe that the government's going to take care of you? No. How many people think that, you need personal responsibility? You need to find a thing. You got to say, if it's to be, it's up to me. And so when I read Think and Grow Rich, it came up with this concept that if other people can go out there and start at the top, why can't we? And how many people, again, has heard of these pyramid things? Believe it or not, in the year, 2009, I still have people that come up to me with Google. Can you believe how many people in this room know that you can learn anything from Google? I mean, the law library for every state's on there. Congress, law libraries on there. Everything's on there. And there's still people in 2009 that are watching this. They come up to me in meetings and they go, is this one of those Lego pyramids? So I don't know how to react to them, so I think that they're playing a game with me, so I just look at them and go, are you retarded? Because I think they're playing a game with me. How many people realize if someone asks a stupid question, they deserve a stupid answer? I mean, a legal pyramid? Are you serious? We're 14 years old. We do $70 million a month. We're in 60 countries. How many people have heard of Citicorp? Citicorp is the first $1 trillion corporation on the planet. General Electric, another top 5 company. Then you got General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. Do you know last year, if you took all those companies combined, Avon did more than they did. Avon did over $10 billion last year. So for some of you that have got more degrees than thermostats, and you're smarter than me, then if you're smarter than me, you should be helping more people than me, and you should have more money in the bank than me. Because if you're intelligent and you're not using it, that's stupid. Okay? So the whole point, very simply, is think about this. People find me all the time, they're looking at me and they go, how'd you make so much money? And I said, you ever heard of those pyramid things? And they go, yeah. I said, you ever hear the guy at the top makes all the money? And they go, yeah. I go, I'm that guy. Now, here's the important point. You can be that guy. You can be that person. Because according to Think and Grow Rich, all you got to do is start at the top, and now I'm reading through this book, broke. I was so broke I couldn't pay attention. Some of you will get that on the way home. I know you will. Okay? And I'm reading this book, and how would you like to read this book? Cast on your leg, getting kicked out of your apartment, looking for your car to be repossessed. And I read this book, and it says another key secret to Think and Grow Rich is OPE. Other people's efforts, other people's energies. How many people in this room know a person that's very wealthy? Do they have other people working for them? Yes. Just a clue. Small one, but just a clue. How many people in this room have a job? How many people watching this have a job? Do you have co-workers? Another clue. There's someone that's got a lot of people working for them. So I'm reading in this book, and the book says it's easy to be successful. It's easy. Why? No one else is trying. No one else is trying. And second reason is very simple, is you got to understand that you got to learn something that makes you money, and you got to teach other people how to do that. Now think about this. If you got to learn to be successful, why not learn from someone that's successful? I mean, when I read this book, ladies and gentlemen, do you realize how simple and basic becoming wealthy is? Do you know how simple and basic being happy is? Don't do the complicated things, do the little things. So I'm reading in this book, and it says, all I got to do is learn something that makes a lot of money and teach other people how to do it. And I thought, you know what? I'm on workman's comp making $900 a month. I might as well try this. And I did. And I went out and learned how to do it from someone that made over $60,000 a month. And I started teaching people. And believe it or not, now I have these little dots that you see. I now have 430,000 people that are responsible for my income. Okay? Now, listen to this. What if just last month, all of my 430,000 lazy friends and family only did 1 hour of work the entire month? Then I got paid on 430,000 hours of work. How many hours did you get paid on? See, you got to learn to work smart instead of hard. And J. Paul Getty said it best. I don't know how many people are from California, but you go from 405, from downtown Hollywood into the San Fernando Valley. And as you're driving, there's this beautiful museum sitting on the hill, and it's called J. Paul Getty Museum. Now, when you got a museum, you did okay. When you have to get off on J. Paul Getty Drive to get to it, you did better. And J. Paul Getty said again, he's the one that said these statements. He said it's easy to become successful, one, because no one else is doing it. And second, I'd rather make 1% off 100 people's efforts instead of doing 100% of my own. This gives you the third key principle, which is leverage. Leverage, residual income. The other thing he says that you're going to see me tie into this is you got to find a product that has these 5 key things. If you find a product that hits it, it's perfect timing. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen to me on this because it's important. Someone's been lying to you. Talent is more important. Skill is more important. Education is more important. That's what we've been taught. Really, honestly, timing erases all 3 of those. If you got timing in perfect place at the perfect time, timing erases talent, skill, and knowledge. Just like that. Want proof? Has anyone ever seen pictures or a video of someone that won the lottery? How many people, honestly, you're looking at it and going, are you kidding me? How about that clearing publisher house where they walk up, those people out knocking on the door with bathrobes? I want millions of dollars. Is there anyone in this room other than me or on camera that went, you got to be kidding me? What did they do different that you didn't? They bought a ticket. They bought a ticket, they registered, while all the rest of the skeptical people in this room and watching this video says it'll never happen. You say it'll never happen, but everyone's dream to winning the lottery, you just don't play. Okay, the other thing that you have to do is you have to find a product that has these 5 key ingredients. If you find a product that has these 5 key ingredients, you got to get in and market it as hard as you possibly can. The first key ingredient is you have to find a product that everybody wants. You have to find a product that everybody needs. You have to find a product that's priced for profit. It needs to be priced to be sold, and most importantly, it needs to be replaced over and over and over again. Now, I don't know if you know this, but J. Paul Getty marketed gasoline. He looked at Ray Kroc and seen what he did with McDonald's franchises, and he was the first to do gasoline franchises. Now, how many people, if you find a product that has these 5 key things, please get in, don't think about it, just go to work. Now, you're going to see our product will fit into all 5 of those. But before I get there, I'm going to go into Marketing 101. Now, I know that some people that are watching this have marketing degrees, but trust me, I didn't. I was an auto mechanic from North Dakota, so that's what I did. I watched this and it made sense. But bottom line, you have a manufacturer. And the manufacturer can make, clothes, electronics, they can make cars, they can make all kinds of things. And I didn't realize, but it makes sense, that 40 cents on every dollar, or 40% spent on research and development, manufacturing, advertising, all of this stuff. Now, after that, it goes to a national distributor, a regional distributor, a local distributor, then a retailer, and finally to the customer. And so understand this is middleman profit. How many people have heard of the middleman? And 60 cents on every dollar we have goes into middleman profit. Now, here's what's so hilarious about middlemen. This works for legal products, and this also works for illegal products. See, I have a lot of friends that are still trying to find the manufacturer. You know what I mean? And some of you will get that and some of you don't. That's okay. But bottom line, I was showing this, and guess what? What would happen if you cut out just a couple of middlemen? How many people have heard of Walmart? Sam Walton. Do you know this? If you look up in Forbes magazine, Sam Walton, if he wouldn't have died, Bill Gates would have never became the wealthiest person in the world. You can go on Forbes right now and look at the 20 wealthiest people, and if you look at all his children, add up all their wealth, they're worth more than Bill Gates. Is that amazing? And Sam Walton came up with a great idea. What he did is he went directly to the regional distributor and said, listen, I want to buy directly from you. And they said, no, you can't do that. And he goes, why not? And he said, because we sell to the local distributor, you have to buy from them. And he says, well, I only wanted to buy 1 million of them. And the person says, you're my new friend. And all Sam Walton did is built warehouses all over the United States, now all over the world. He got his own trucks, he bought in quantity, and he just distributed it to himself, cutting out the middlemen. And now his slogan is what? Always low prices, always. To show you how powerful this is, ladies and gentlemen, in 2008, when the stock was the worst it's ever been, do you realize 2 companies still made money in 2008 if you bought their stock? Walmart and McDonald's. Because we all know McDonald's makes the best hamburger in the world. Or maybe it's marketing. Which one would you pick? Marketing. Okay, if you cut out one more middleman, you have Costco. Now, how many people have shopped at Costco? How many people know that you need a membership card? $50 for a membership card allows you to buy at wholesale. Then you could sell it if you wanted to at retail. Now, how many people in this room have ever seen someone pushing a cart that had so much peanuts on it, it's unbelievable? Or Snickers. See, it was because of Costco, ladies and gentlemen, that they had to put on the package, not sold individually. Now, guess what? If you were at a fair, or if you were at a carnival or something, and you went to get a bag of potato chips, and when you bought them, it said not sold individual, how many people would go, you can't do this? See, you wouldn't do it. You would just buy them because you're hungry. And so guess what? They had to do that because of the Costco model. Now listen to this point because it's very important. Traditional business is failing. How many people know I'm telling the truth? Watch CNN, constant negative news for an hour. And you're going to see that traditional business is not working anymore. When you tune in on a Sunday night and people are packing their boxes at Lehman Brothers, and I mean Citicorp, all these companies, I'm telling you what, it's bad. And you know how bad it is when you hear that Federal Express is laying off employees. So that means that everything now is slowing down. How many people think it's going to slow down for a long time? It's not going to happen to you, though. Or how many people think you should have a plan B? Now listen, why I brought that point up is Costco doesn't do any advertising. So how can they be so big if Costco doesn't do any advertising? Word of mouth. Some people in this room, when you got a Costco card, there was two things that happened. One is someone invited you to go check out Costco, and you couldn't buy things unless you used their card. So then you called them up again and said, listen, what are you doing Saturday? Get your own card. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. So that's why marketing works. So what we did is I was taught, again, 24 years ago by a billionaire, what if we could cut out all the middlemen, every one of them, and go directly to a manufacturer that's got perfect timing, because timing is more important than skill and talent. And if you find a manufacturer that's got a first-to-a-market product, everybody wants it, everybody needs it. Some people are addicted to it. It's a habit. You know what I mean? If you can get involved with a company that catches that kind of timing, you're done. And all we do is teach people to go directly to the manufacturer, taking it directly to the consumer, and we put that money in our pockets. How many people like our pockets instead of their pockets? And that's all I was showing how to do 24 years ago. Now, you got to find a company that's got good timing, because what if I said to you right now, the product that we're marketing is cassette tapes? How many people are going, I'm not in? But how many people in this room, and be honest and watching this tape, how many people know that there's some very skeptical, critical people? Now, we know who won the Super Bowl. We're about ready to find out who's going to win the NBA World Championship in basketball. We know who wins the Academy Awards and Grammys. But who in this room, and I'm going to see if there's any smart people that are watching this that get this, who was the person last year that won the Critic of the Year? They don't give out that award, so do me a huge favor, stop trying to win it. Why is it the most unhappy people in the world are the most skeptical people? Well, I'm skeptical. I'm a little critical. See, what we're doing here is not on trial. We're doing $70 million a month. Don't be one of those people who go, I don't think this will work. Too late! You're too late! I mean, just people crack me up. But bottom line with marketing, you got to understand that when you catch a company with the right time at the right place, are people that are watching this and watching me right now, are there still going to be people that turn it down? And you know why they'll turn it down? Timing for them. So this is perfect timing for some people, but some people it's not perfect timing. But you still know that people that are watching this that are critical and cynical. Think about this. What if you were the same age you are now, same room, same time, but we could move this all 6 years ago? And I stood up here and I said, the company that I'm marketing is a company called Apple. And I know some of you are using their computers, but they were coming out with a new thing called an iPod. And people are going to get off CDs, and they're going to start putting on this little hard drive and carrying it with you. Do you know there's people in this room that go, it ain't going to work? You know who you are. You know who you are, because you're the same people that tell all your family and friends you'll never get a cell phone. Oh, I'm never going to get a cell phone. And then you see them, they got one. You go, what's that? Oh, it's for emergency purposes. Don't they? And the emergency starts from the second they leave their home to the second they get home. My father-in-law is one of these people, and I love him. He told me the day you get so lazy that you can't get off your butt to change the TV channels is going to be a sad day. How many people here, if you lose your remote, you're in trouble? You're like, you know, you're trying to look for the deal. And so it's amazing. Trends happen with or without you. A couple extra quick points is how many people know that when trends happen, you can't stop them? I'm going to introduce you to a company called Gano Excel. And Gano Excel is the next billion-dollar company. It's already done billions in sales, but it's based out of Malaysia. Now, I'm not trying to be mean to anyone that's watching this, but is there anything that you're currently using in your home or in your car that has come from Asia that you're using now? Yeah, and there's still going to be some people. Yeah, isn't that good? See, what we're doing here is not on trial. We're doing $70 million a month. Don't be one of those people who go, I don't think this will work. Too late! You're too late! I mean, just people crack me up. But bottom line with marketing, you got to understand that when you catch a company with the right time at the right place, are people that are watching this and watching me right now, are there still going to be people that turn it down? And you know why they'll turn it down? Timing for them. So this is perfect timing for some people, but some people it's not perfect timing. But you still know that people that are watching this that are critical and cynical. Think about this. What if you were the same age you are now, same room, same time, but we could move this all 6 years ago? And I stood up here and I said, the company that I'm marketing is a company called Apple. And I know some of you are using their computers, but they were coming out with a new thing called an iPod. And people are going to get off CDs, and they're going to start putting on this little hard drive and carrying it with you. Do you know there's people in this room that go, it ain't going to work? You know who you are. You know who you are, because you're the same people that tell all your family and friends you'll never get a cell phone. Oh, I'm never going to get a cell phone. And then you see them, they got one. You go, what's that? Oh, it's for emergency purposes. Don't they? And the emergency starts from the second they leave their home to the second they get home. My father-in-law is one of these people, and I love him. He told me the day you get so lazy that you can't get off your butt to change the TV channels is going to be a sad day. How many people here, if you lose your remote, you're in trouble? Like, you know, you're trying to look for the deal. And so it's amazing. Trends happen with or without you. A couple extra quick points is how many people know that when trends happen, you can't stop them? I'm going to introduce you to a company called Gano Excel. And Gano Excel is the next billion-dollar company. It's already done billions in sales, but it's based out of Malaysia. Now, I'm not trying to be mean to anyone that's watching this, but is there anything that you're currently using in your home or in your car that has come from Asia that you're using now? Yeah, and there's still going to be some people. Yeah, isn't that good? And so now you got an Asian company that found a way to upgrade your nutrition. Now, please listen, these points are very important. How many people in this room have a television? How many people have more than one television? So why is it that people are still selling televisions? Upgrade. Upgrade, upgrade. They still sell refrigerators, they still sell washer and dryers, and everyone's upgrading. So let me ask you a question. Why did you upgrade? Better. Better research. They're making them smaller, better, higher quality. They keep making things better. How many people in this room would be interested in using a computer that's 10 years old? How many people are? I can't see it. Yeah, upgrade. All right? But the whole point is very simply this, is I did not know about a product called Ganoderma lucidum. That's a scientific name for a red mushroom that grows in Asian rainforests. I had no clue that this is the most documented herb on the planet. For those of you that are skeptical, this only has 4,000 years of documented history. 4,000 years. Mike is the guy that does our tour, and someone asked him the other day, one of these smart, skeptical people, how long do you think this will last? And he says, I don't know. Coffee's been since 400 AD. Reishi, Lishi, Langshi, I know I'm saying them wrong. Red mushroom, I can say, that's English. All right? But he said, red mushroom's only been around for 4,000 years, so I think we're going to make it another 100. And Mr. Liao took the time to be able to take 15 years of his life, and we figured it out the other day. This would be about when he was 12, 13 years old. That he got fascinated about what this herb does through ancient Chinese history and recipes. So guess what? He studied it, found out the way to be able to organically grow this, and on this video and then through the tour. How many people have seen Mike's tour? Wasn't that pretty cool? Okay, and please take the time to learn about this Ganoderma lucidum. The before and after results. See, in the United States, we're free. We're Americans, we're free. Just don't tell anybody that this product does help people. Because the FDA, hello, says that we can't tell you, but they still get to make things legal that kill people. Yeah, I'm talking to you. But bottom line, I went over to Asia and spent months over there. And guess what? I'm meeting people that before and after stories, before and after stories, before and after stories. They're telling me about every single disease that has ever been out there where they use this product, and guess what? Now they don't have it. Now they're better. And they're in Asia, in some places were rulers and communism. Different governments over there. But yet they can tell me their personal story because the government allows them to tell their personal story. So what I'm going to do is third-party documentation is better. Documentation beats conversation. So please watch these videos and see the documentation. The first one you're going to see is Fox News. Now, Fox News says in their clip that the reishi mushroom has the ability to cure almost anything. I can't say that, but they did. So please watch the videos. Thank you very much, and see you in a little bit.
Flu season kicking into high gear, you can only protect yourself so much from getting sick.
But if you believe in natural remedies, a legal Asian mushroom claims to be more powerful than most products on the market. Tonight 7's Tom Haynes shows us why mushroom magic is becoming more popular than ever.
Red, white, brown. There are 38,000 different kinds of mushrooms, some toxic enough to kill. Others almost contain mystical powers.
In Chinese medicine and Japan, they highly regard the medicinal mushrooms.
Among the most potent, a rare red mushroom known as reishi. In Asian culture, it's considered a magical mushroom with the ability to cure almost any illness.
Everyone and anyone can benefit at any given age. It can strengthen the whole body.
Well, I just tried it. I couldn't believe it.
Bella Manchin started using red mushroom products after hearing about them through a friend.
I use the coffee, I use the tea, I use the mocha, I use the hot chocolate.
And since she started 7 months ago, she's noticed a change.
My energy level is unbelievable. Oh, I feel strong. My body really feels strong. I just feel strong. And my mind is very, very focused, and I'm very clear.
You can now find the mushroom herb in coffees, teas, or oatmeal. They're also made in soaps, toothpaste, and lotions. Or for an easy fix, you can just take a reishi pill. In numerous studies, reishi's proven to tame allergies, high blood pressure, heart disease, and help fight inflammation.
It clarifies, builds, strengthens the immune system, gives a lot of energy. You can focus, concentrate much better.
Coffee has been life-changing.
Bella's never been better. Since making the switch, she doesn't taste the difference, she feels the difference.
You feel wonderful, you have energy. That's the feeling I have most of the time. Very positive attitude, very upbeat.
Reishi pills are available at most natural food stores. You can buy coffees and other products online. And as always, consult your doctor or a licensed nutritionist before starting any supplemental program. In the Newsplex, Tom Haynes, 7 News.
I'm telling you what, when Fox News, and I don't know if you guys watched it, when The Myth and Reality, when it talks about Los Angeles, Newsweek magazine, all these different PubMed, when you go on PubMed.gov, that's a governmental website. And when you put in Ganoderma lucidum, and you got over 650 documented reports on how incredible this product is. Ladies and gentlemen, when I talked about upgrading, trust me when I say this, I didn't know about Ganoderma lucidum. I knew nothing about reishi, lingshi. But now that I do know that I can upgrade my nutrition, I did it. My question to you is, once you do your documentation, are you smart enough to upgrade your nutrition? Okay? So that's just how simple this is. Now, I did my due diligence. I'm not asking you to do this, but I actually went to Malaysia for a while. And I went there and got to see all the documentation. And when I went to Malaysia, the before and after stories, I mean, they had them in envelopes, and you could look before and after stories, and they would go for miles. I mean, before and after of some of the most gruesome stuff you've ever seen. And this product is incredible. I know they call it the mushroom magic and the miracle herb. I'm telling you, it is. And so when I went there, you can see here that our facility, this is the largest organic Ganoderma lucidum plant in the world. And when I went there, I got pictures where you can see me in just rolls and rolls and rolls of this stuff. Mr. Liao took the time to figure out how to mass produce and grow this organically. So prior to this, if anyone in this room haven't heard of it, I've actually met a lot of people from Korea that says that Ganoderma lucidum is worth more than gold. Worth more than gold. And so to bring it to the United States, you first have to make a large supply, and Mr. Liao found a way to do that. The second is when I sat and met with this man and met with his family, he's not motivated by money, ladies and gentlemen. I know that some people think that everyone's motivated by money. But once this gentleman figured out what Ganoderma lucidum would do for you and your family, his cause right now is to make sure to give it to the world, to make sure that the whole world is taking this. And I want each and every one of you to help me with my cause. I want to help him. You know? So it's pretty incredible. So the company's 14 years old. It's in over 60 countries. It's amazing that the 29 years of research and development. You also look at billions and billions and billions sold. Like I said before, 4 million satisfied customers cannot be wrong. 4 million satisfied customers can't be wrong. Now, just to tell you a little bit about my experience with this and why I think it's different than a lot of companies out there, is see, I've been in this industry for 24 years, and I've been blessed to do really well. In fact, my best year in this industry, I did over $110 million in volume in my group in 1 year. Now, I'm not saying that to impress you, but to press upon you that there's a lot of companies that want me to market. They want me to market. So they've sent me videos, they've sent me their product, people have sent me cookies, they've sent me, pills, they've sent me juices. How many people have seen all these juice companies out there? You know what I mean? And I want to tell you my experience with them, because even though they're documented and they might be good, I can't remember to take them. How many people know that we're creatures of habit? All right? So with being creatures of habit, we do the same thing over and over and over and over. And a lot of people, this will work two ways, because a lot of times, those of you that are watching this are going, well, if the product's so good, why aren't you selling it in Walmart? Why aren't you selling it in Kmart? Well, I'd like you to do your own market research. Go stand in the coffee aisle and watch how people shop for coffee. You stand back and you see a whole giant aisle of all these kinds of coffees. And you see people walk in, they push their cart, and they reach up, they grab their make and put it in and keep going. They never look to their left or right or up and down. So if their favorites is Maxwell House or Folgers, that's just what they're grabbing. And all these different brands and kinds are all the way down the aisle, and people, again, are creatures of habit, aren't they? So people send me these pills and lotions and all this stuff, and I just cannot remember to take them. Now, think about this. If you don't remember to take the product as prescribed, do you think you'll get good results? No. So how can you be a good testimony of the product if you can't remember to take it? Now you're a salesperson. How many people don't like being salespeople? Because now you got to convince people that the product works based on other people's stories. What's the best representative in the world? A satisfied customer. So how many people in this room, just to show you how I think, marketing, I'm pretty basic, again, the auto mechanic from North Dakota, how many people have seen a Bowflex commercial? Guess what? All you need, 20 minutes, documented. All you need is 20 minutes and you get a 12-pack. I think some of you noticed that I got a keg. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Why 12-pack when you just can go to a keg? Yeah. But the whole point is that these people got 2% body fat. Have you seen some of the men and women on these commercials? And just perfectly sculpted, just 20 minutes, scientifically proven. So I bought one. Yeah, you can see I used it. No, I'm not in the habit of doing it, so I don't. And a lot of people in this room are going, you know what? It would be so easy to use the machine, but it's easier not to. How many people relate to that? So all of a sudden, when Mr. Liao created this incredible herb and documented it, and all the certifications and stuff we have, please do your due diligence. You'll be blown away. You'll upgrade your nutrition. But even though they have it in pill form, this is how smart Mr. Liao is. He puts it in stuff we use every day. So how many people, so they turned around and he put it in toothpaste. In toothpaste. How many people watching this brush their teeth? Now, the ones that are not raising their hands, you're going to come up to me after this and go, can I? Oh, no. Okay, then he turned around and put it in soap. Can you imagine that? How many people in this room, if you put it in soap, how many people have taken a shower in the last week? Okay? Now, he also has it in cereal. Can you imagine? He has it in cereal. So how many people eat every day? And so you got to understand, he put it in things we do anyway. How many people have tried our toothpaste, our soap, and our cereal? Isn't it awesome? Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, so then what he did is, of course, put it in tea. Because some people in this room do not like caffeine. Believe it or not, there's spiritual beliefs that tell you not to use caffeine. So you put it in tea and also hot chocolate. So that's the way we can take care of them. And then we got the person that everyone thinks we can't take care of. This person says, I don't like hot drinks. All you got to do is make it and let it cool off. How many people in this room have made a cup of coffee or tea and you forgot about it and you come back and it's cold? Yeah, for some of you that want to speed it up, put some, like ice cubes in it. But then for people that are 1.4 billion, when you watch that video, 1.4 billion cups a day? How many people know some people that drink coffee? All day. How many people do you know that is addicted to it? Now, we all know you should never say addiction, but how many people know that they actually will tell you, don't talk to me until I had my coffee? They'll actually say that to you. So please understand that he put it in coffee, black coffee. Then we have it in what is called 3-in-1 with cream and sugar. And then we also have it in mocha flavor. How many people like mocha? And then we also have it in what is called Tonkat Alley. What do you mean, yeah? Yeah. That's the lover's coffee. Yeah, I got that from the Hispanic crowd. Thank you very much. All right? But the lover's coffee, if there's a product that you could use every day to give you more energy, more endurance, more clarity, and you didn't get the crash, how many companies right now do you know of that are making billions of dollars by just marketing sugar, caffeine, and a crash? So we're going to make billions of dollars with or without your help by selling something that's healthy that doesn't do that. Now, one other aspect. How many people have heard of vitamin water? Okay, billion-dollar company because all they did is do what? They enriched and fortified water. So how many people in this room, because I know there's some people that are watching this that are coffee snobs. Coffee snobs. I got my coffee, I got it the way I want it. You know what I mean? But I can guarantee you that you're not drinking an enriched and fortified coffee. That's what we sell. It's called Cafe 2.0. And so we got both crowds, the people that just say, listen, I don't care if I trash my health, I like good stuff. Because a lot of people say this is healthy coffee. That doesn't work for every crowd. Why? Because do I look like the kind of guy that would drink healthy coffee? That's like eating healthy potato chips. Ain't gonna happen, all right? So we got everyone, but check out our videos on Cafe 2.0 because it's an enriched and also fortified coffee that gives you all your nutrition. So you got to understand how many people understand being in the habit of brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating, drinking coffee, drinking tea, and you're getting all your nutrition each and every day. Yeah. That's why we're growing so fast. That's why we're growing so fast. So bottom line, that's my take on that. Now, really quickly, how many people are interested in making money? Okay? For the people that are not interested in making money, do me a huge favor. Let me teach you how to make money and give it away. Okay, because you always get these people, well, I don't need any more money. Well, I'm real happy for you. How many people have you helped? How many people have you helped? Because there's always these skepticals out there all the time that says to you, well, Robert, if you're making all this money, why are you still doing this? Because I got on my knees one day and asked God up above, and I don't mean to offend anyone here, but I said, man, if you can get me out of this mess, I promise I'll spend the rest of my life teaching other people how to get out of this mess. Okay? So, like my maker, he helped me. So now I'm going to continue to put up my end of the bargain. I know there's a lot of people that are watching this that have made the deal. And he pulled through and you didn't. Oh, please just get me out of this and I promise to give 10% from now on. I promise. You get out of the deal, you forget, right? And so I just decided to try outgive God. I failed. So I'm just going to keep doing it. Now, we're going to talk about money really quickly, and I'm going to go fast, and we'll be finished here. But bottom line, how many people in this room do know some people that need to make some extra money? Now, I know that people know this already, but how many people know that money doesn't buy happiness? It doesn't. But how many people in this room can document that poverty doesn't buy happiness? So if you got to make a decision, pick one. I'm wealthy, I'm still unhappy, but at least I'm wealthy. I tell people all the time, at least if you make money, you're broke, you're not broke anymore, but you're unhappy, but at least you get there in style. Like my dear friend, Fred Herzog, says all the time, is you know what? He says, money isn't important, but it's really close to oxygen. Okay? So bottom line, let me really quickly go through our compensation plan and we'll be finished here. First of all, we have retail profit. The one thing I love a lot about this company, there's so many things I love, but one thing is that people can afford to buy the product at wholesale, sometimes in cases like, $16, $8, and they can buy the product, retail the product, and put money in their pocket today. Ladies and gentlemen, when I seen this 24 years ago, I seen where I could buy it at wholesale, sell it at retail, and put money in my pocket today. That's what I needed. So that's what I did. So you can see countries like we have in Peru. Look at our videos that we have in Peru and other countries where they're not as blessed, I'll say, financially as we are here in the United States. And it's neat to know that other countries can just get it at wholesale, sell it at retail, help their families and friends with their health, and earn an income to take care of their family. Okay, very important, okay? The second thing you see there is basically Fast Start. This is helping people get their business up and going. And we pay very lucrative for that. We also have what is called, I like to call it a hybrid, a progressive binary. A lot of companies pay up to 10%. Well, if you say up to 10%, that usually means it never hits there. Okay, this company guarantees to pay out 50% on its compensation plan, and the progressive binary can pay as high as 20%. As high as 20%, but we guarantee 15. Guarantee 15. So when you go out there and continue to work, you can start at 10. We'll show you in a second where there's a couple of places you can start out at 15, but work your way all the way to 15. And so that's progressive. The more you work, the more you get paid. How many people want to be in control of your own raises and your own raises, your own rewards, right? Executive check match. Executive check match very simply means, and I won't be covering these two at the bottom, but executive check match is how many people in this room have ever taught someone how to do something? How would you like to get a percentage of their check every week for life? Would you teach more people? That's why I'm doing this. Okay? That's why I'm doing this. I like residual income. And the last one's a leadership bonus, because if we all work together, there's a lot of leaders in this room from different teams. And we all work together, and if we increase the company, then we could get a 4% bonus pool that we all get to split in. It's amazing. Fred Herzog, the gentleman that introduced me, he's made over $500,000 a year on the bonus pools. Can you imagine that? So that's another reason he's here. So let's go quickly now on the compensation plan. You can get started for $30. It's called our Smart Start. So the first step you just have to do is enroll. Just enroll. And then once you enroll, you can start at the $30 Smart Start, and you get to pick the products that you want. Just $30. Now, you also got your tax and freight on this, but when you start at the $30 Smart Start, when you pick one of these products, there's no cost for the kit, no cost for the fee to get involved, and get this, no cost for your websites to market. So how many people believe in the time right now with the recession we have, how many people think that this is a good time to allow people just to buy solid product? All right? Now, once you enroll and get into the Smart Start, the next thing you're going to want to do is actually activate your spot. By activating, you got to do $50 in personal volume. Now, some people just use the Smart Start and do 50. But in this example, I want to show you really quickly how fast you can earn a passive residual income. How many people think with this video or that you're seeing this on the internet in our live meetings, how many people think that you could get 2 people to go, I think this will work? All right? So bottom line, you got to understand this, that those 2 get in, and how many people know what the world average is for recruitment? 2. It's really 2.4 people. But how many people have met that 0.4? You're like, whoa, is anyone in there? You know what I mean? They look, after you do a whole presentation, these are the people that you walk up to and they go, I didn't get it. And you go, I don't think you want to. You know? I'm sorry. But I mean, really, okay? So we can teach people to get 2 people, and we can teach those to each get 2, and teach those to each get 2. In this example, we're only talking 30 people. And at the lowest percentage of 10%, at only $50 in personal volume, now most people buy a lot more. You're now looking at it might cost you $52, $53 a month, but you're making over $70. How many people, if you were making more than you were spending with us, how many people would continue to stay in the company? And that's the key right now, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of companies are losing their auto ship like you would not believe because it's too high. And on top of that, they're not making more than they're spending. So they're leaving. So that's as simple as it is. Now the next one is you just increase that to $100. And now if it costs you $105, $111, now you're making over $150. So again, if you were making money every month, this would handle the #1 objection. Because don't people come up to you and go, you making any money yet? Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Why do they always ask, and for people that are watching this, why do you always ask brand new people what they're making? Why don't you ask me? Yeah, because then I get to ask you how much you're making. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Wow, some people, well, I make $40,000. Really, a year, and you can live on that? Yeah, so I can make them feel the way they try to make you feel. But for the people that are always asking people, are you making any money yet? I'll wait until you make money. You know, think about this. You don't walk up to a freshman in law school and say, you did any jury trials yet? You don't walk up to a person their first year in med school and go, you did any surgery yet? Now stop being a jerk. For a day, you'll like it. You know, it's amazing, you know? But bottom line, here's the next step. What if you made this a little better? Our progressive binary pays 10 to 15%. So could the 16 turn into 32? Could the 32 turn into 64? And so on and so forth. Well, now as you continue to build this out, now guess what? Look at the kind of money you can earn. If everyone was just, we took the lowest one, which is 10%, $50 in personal volume, now you're making $950 a month. Now this is that third principle, leverage, residual. Now once you learn to make residual, ladies and gentlemen, you will never do anything else. Here's residual. Can you imagine doing something one time and getting paid every week for the rest of your life for it? Then you work the next month and you get paid every week for the rest of your life. And it compounds. According to Einstein, he said that it should be the 8th wonder of the world. Compounded interest, leverage. And if you don't have that working for you, you need to learn how to do that. Where did I learn this? From a billionaire that gave me a book. That's all I did is read a book. There was another book called Science of Getting Rich. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. If you need things to change, you gotta change. Does that make sense? So let me ask you, a lot of people in this room they're watching this. If I just reached in my pocket and gave you $950 and said, it's a gift, here you go, it wouldn't make you happier. How many people, if I gave you $950 right now, you'd be calling everybody, this guy gave me $950, didn't even ask for it back. Here's the key, guess what? What would you spend the money on? Next month, at the same time, I give you another $950. Next month, at the same time, I give you another $950. Next month, at the same time, I give you $950. Trust me, if you knew the money was coming every month, your whole life would change. Because would this be a nice car payment with insurance this time? I know some of you. I used to be there. Insurance, eating. Eating. I mean, income gets tight sometimes, doesn't it? Now, here's another thing. With $950, what if you saved it all year? Could you actually take a vacation away from your city? Because you always get these people all the time, well, I'm on vacation. Well, what'd you do? Well, I thought I'd paint and scrape the house. I'm not doing anything else. How many people think that you should leave your country to go on vacation? Okay? So you're looking at $11,000 extra a year. My last point why I drill on this slide is because everybody talks about this big money. I want to talk about the little money because the little money turns into big money. But how many people in this room, if I said to you, you need to change your income, how are you going to make an extra $11,000 next year? A part-time job won't even give you that. And I can teach you how to do that. Well, guess what? There's a lot of people that are over $50 in personal volume. So now if you had $100, now what are you looking at? $1,900 a month? What could you do with $1,900? It would change your life, wouldn't it? This time now you're changing your cars and also your zip code. Okay? Because I know a lot of you love your home, but you would love your home in a different area. Okay? So that's bottom line. To finish this up, we have 3 places that you can start. You can ask 4 places. I talked about Smart Start. But you can start at what is called the Executive Success Pack 1. Now, if you start at $195, our company is one of the only companies on the planet that when you spend $195, we give you $200 plus in product. Nothing for sign-up, nothing for kit, nothing for websites. All product, and it's all in sample form. How many people have tried our product? Do you like it? Okay, so how many people, when people first try it, they look at it and they go, I don't know if this is going to taste good. And it does taste good. Now what am I going to do? It's a habit. I like it. I drink it. I'm getting healthier. Bummer. You know what I mean? And so what we also do at these positions is pay you what is called upfront money, fast start money. So you can see on your slide here that you very simply get $20, and this would be a scenario if everyone started here. Of course, they're not. But if they started there, you get $20 on your first and second. On your third, it doubles to $40. But now you get an infinity bonus on every 2 that gets 2, that gets 2, that gets 2. You make that. So if you did that in the same scenario, you're looking at picking up an extra $5,000 on top of doubling your residual income. Doubling your residual income. Now, how many people in this room can see that? Now, there's going to be testimonials on this video and also on the internet. Please click on that because you're going to see people that have been with our company less than 3 months that have over 3,000 people. Yeah. DJ sitting in the audience. Give him a hand. But you also have people in our company that, like Cindy, just started with us from another company, been with us just a little over a month, has over 80 people in her group. And then you got people like my son. You know, my son's only been in the company now going on 3 months and a couple of days. He's about ready to turn 27. He's got 1,200 people in his group. Yeah. And earning over $3,000 a week. Now, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone always asks me all the time, and people that know my son personally and know me personally, I didn't help him build that. He did that off MySpace and Facebook by very swiftly showing people my presentation. DJ, same thing. He just told people, hey, listen, go to Gano Overview or replaceyourpay.com. Let me do the speaking. I only can get through to intelligent people. Yeah, you. The people that go, oh, I don't think this is going to work. It's one of those things. We're never going to get through to them. Never. But they'll at least use our product. Because trends happen with or without you. So in this example, two more other things. We have an Executive Success Pack 2. That's where people can start at $4.95. Now you get 4 months at plus 5%. You know, the ESP1 was plus 5% for 2 months. So if you take that plus our 10% that we start you out on, that's 15% you're guaranteed at for the first 2 months or the first 4 months, all right? So now the next thing is if bonuses go up, you get over $500 worth of product, but now instead of, you know, the $20, now you're making $50, $50, and $100, and $50 to infinity. So we all do exactly the same thing, you just get paid more in the higher position you are. For those of you that are watching this and you're saying, listen, I can't start there, I can't afford to go there, you can earn your way there. We will show you word for word, step by step on how to do that. Okay? The next example is, of course, Executive Success Pack 3, and that's over $9.95, but you get $1,000 worth of product. Again, the kit and the websites are free, but now your income doubles again. For doing the same thing, again, if you sponsored people at the same package, you get 100, 100, and then 200. But then on every two that get two on your power team, you make $100 to infinity. So you're doing exactly the same thing, but you're making $25,000 in upfront money, and your residual now is gone to $45,000. Let me ask you a question. What if it took you 2 years to do this? Would it be worth it? You're making $45,000 a year in passive residual income that comes in every week whether you work or not. Would it be worth it? Yes. What would you do with the extra $25,000 that came in for doing that? Now what I want to show you is I know that every one of you can do this. I know for a fact you can do this. Why? Because I was an auto mechanic from North Dakota. I know that a lot of you can take the time to see my story. If you just put Robert Hollis in Google, my site will be the first one that will show up. Please take the time to see some of my videos before I got here. I'm telling you, I sit and look at this and I guess, you know, I was not very energetic. I was one of those guys that, you know, was very introverted. How many people here know an auto mechanic? Real social butterflies. But they're very analytical, they're engineers, they're very into not socializing. And so when I got involved in this, I want you to know that everyone that's watching this, you can do this. You can do anything you want. What if I told you I'd give you $1 million if you could prove to me that you would learn a new language? Okay, all you got to do is find the resources and then do what the resources tell you to, which is hard for some people. You know, I want to change, I just don't want to do what you tell me. And then you just have to practice. And if you practice, 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 you'll get gooder, 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 gooder. It's funny, everyone wants to be like Tiger Woods. Everyone wants to be like Michael Jordan. They just don't want to practice. Isn't that amazing? Just like the Bowflex, you just got to use it. So how many people that are listening to this have ever heard anything negative about network marketing or multi-level? For those of you that are raising your hands, you're liars. Everyone's heard negative stuff about this. Well, here's a little clue for everyone here. How many people know that everything you heard negative about network marketing is true? Wow. You know why? Because it's just like rumors. It gets passed from person to person to person to person to person to person. How many people here have heard negative things about you? How many people have heard rumors about you? You're going, listen, I don't know her. I've never been in the city. Trust me, no way. And it's amazing because if you see this example that I'm showing you, they say that scientists say we retain 10% of what we hear for the first time. Well, just in this example, can you imagine if you learned directly from someone that knew 100% of the knowledge? Now, I know what some of you are saying, and I agree with you. There's no one that knows 100%. But you got to understand where I was 24 years ago. I met a guy that was making $60,000 a month, and I said, you know what? What if I just learn from him? What if I just do what he tells me to do? And what if I work hard and I mess it up by 90%? What's your grade in school? F, 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 F? Minus, 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 minus. And this company, I got involved, learned from someone that made $60,000 a month and made $258,000 my first year by doing what he told me to do. The next year I made $520,000. The next year I made $785,000. See, if you learn from someone that knows what they're doing, you're going to get what they got. And I wanted his lifestyle. I like freedom. I like doing things for my family. This is a lot more than just about money. I didn't want to turn to my sons ever and say, listen, you don't really need that for Christmas. Because translation is, Dad can't afford it. I didn't want to be in that situation. So I took the time to learn, and if you see if anyone in this room has failed in network marketing, because I run into people all the time, they go, well, I've tried these like 5 times. I've tried like 5 of them. None of them worked. And I go, well, guess what all 5 of them have in common? You. Because why is it that there's people that are making a lot of money in other companies and you're not? Learn how to do this business. Please, learn how. Because how many people that are watching this have a driver's license? If you have a driver's license in a car, would you give your keys to someone that didn't have a driver's license? 1, it's against the law, and 2, the odds are things are not going to be good. You understand? Do you need an insurance license to sell insurance? Contractor's license to do contracting? I needed a license for smog. And why is it in this industry that everyone can get in if they can fog up a mirror? If you can sign your name, you're in. And they're learning from people that don't make money, that are learning from people that don't make money, and guess what? They're getting really good at not making money. And so in this example, I just want you to see that, you know, if you learn from someone that knew 100% and you're an Einstein, then you would retain 50%. You would share it to someone to get 25. You would share it to someone that gets 12. One that gets 6, one that gets 3, and then you end up looking like this guy. Because you're learning. It's not that that person only has a small percentage of what it takes to be successful. It's the other 94% of the stuff that's made up. How many people know that people make up stuff? So here's $1 billion piece of information. I learned years ago from a billionaire to very simply say, how do you know that? How do you know that? So you get all the people who go, well, these don't work. How do you know that? Because remember when I was talking about Citicorp, General Motors, Ford, all of those? Isn't it amazing that Avon outproduces all of them? $10 billion a year. Learn from someone that knows how to do that. And you'll get what they got. How many people learn to drive from someone that knows how to drive? Are you good at it? How many people learned how to walk? How many people learned how to talk? Guess what? You can learn this. And if you're sitting on the screen right now and watching me, I know what you do for, if I knew what you did for a living, I want your answer. I can use someone here in the crowd too. But if you got a job, Tex, do you have a job? Okay, let me ask you a very simple question. What do you do? You're a what? She's a general clerk. So this is going to work for people that are on the screen too, that are watching this. Let me ask you a question, Tex, and I'm sorry for putting you on the spot here. But if I had the desire and the time and the willingness to learn, could you teach me how to do your job? She said, sure. And for those of you that are watching this, if I had the desire, the motivation, the time to learn, couldn't you teach me to do what you do? I can teach you to do what I do. I can only teach you enough to make $25 million. Okay? I can only teach you how to override 430,000 people. Once you get there, you're going to have to learn from somebody else. But this works for 2 reasons in closing. First reason is you do not have to rely on the person that introduced you to Gano Excel. You do not have to rely on them. You can rely on us. We'll show you word for word, step by step on how to do this right. Why? Because we make a percentage off what you earn. If you make nothing, I get a percentage of it. I don't want you doing that. It works for a second reason. And ladies and gentlemen, if you get this one part, you're going to be wealthy beyond your wildest dream. You'll never work for anybody ever again. How many people in this room know who Kobe Bryant is? How many people in this room know who his agent is? And he doesn't care. Now, watch how smart every one of you are that are watching this, because you know the answers to these questions. Do you think Kobe Bryant's agent reps for more than one athlete? Yes. And you don't know him. Do you think that he reps for athletes in some other sport other than basketball? Yes. And do you think he's currently recruiting for new athletes right now? Yes. So this guy is sitting around making a percentage from some of the top athletes in the world, and you don't know who he is. If you learn how to do this business properly, a lot of people always go, well, I don't know if this works. If you're sitting in this audience and you're watching this on internet or DVD, it's working. People go, I don't know if this will work, but I'm watching this. How do you end up watching it? Someone handed it to you. Someone told you to go to a website. Someone you invited you down here to talk to a sort of funny auto mechanic. It works. And then let us do our job. So what if you could learn something very small to say? Here's all you got to learn to say, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, could you do me a huge personal favor? Who do you know that needs to make some extra money? That's all you got to learn to say. And when they turn around and say to you, well, what is this? Go, why? Are you interested? And they go, well, it depends on what it is. Go, listen, I don't know if this is for you or not, but check out this website, replaceyourpay.com, GanoOverview.com, same websites. Or invite them down to one of our meetings. Let us do our job. We got a lot of leaders that will help you build your business, and we get paid to do that. So could you let us help you? Yes. So all you got to do is introduce a couple of people, because what if you're one of the people that introduced my son to this business? Then you only get to override 1,200 people. Did you get that? Yes. And then you turn around and you introduce people to Rick DeLuca. And you get to override another 1,000 people. How many people got that? So you introduce people to Ruben, and override another 1,000 people. You get to introduce them to DJ. You get to override another 3,000 people. Are you getting this? You don't have to be good. You got to get people that are good in front of us. Because people that want to make money, people that want a great lifestyle, people that want to make a difference in other people's lives are constantly looking, and they'll find us if you're smart enough to introduce them to us. How many people got that? So in closing, let me tell you who Gano Excel is. Gano Excel is a company that's perfectly poised with perfect timing, and you guys can capitalize on it. But I want to share one thing in closing for every one of you to really get this. Do you realize that God gives everyone an opportunity in life to change everything in their life? How many people agree with that? How many people in this room, I don't know how many your spiritual beliefs believe you get. I don't know how many. But how many people in this room have ever seen a kid or yourself pick up a rock and you throw it? Has anyone ever seen that? Well, guess what? Someone took that same rock and painted a face on it and called it a pet rock and made millions of dollars. You threw that one away. You picked up the same rock. A couple of kids came to the United States from another country. How many people in this room have ever taken a cardboard box and you folded it up and you put it in the garbage so the garbage man could take it? Those same kids came to America. The land of what? Jobs! The land of jobs. The home of the what? No, show up at your job every day. You'll take a vacation when I tell you. You'll go on break when I tell you. Right? And then guess what? We're supposed to be brave. And everyone that's watching this knows people that are scared to death to make a change. They're scared to death to make a change. What's brave about that? When you can see someone become the President of the United States that came from a broken family. See, Obama didn't get the memo. He didn't get the memo that he couldn't become president. And now he is. How many people are inspired by that? I'm inspired by that. And you don't have to agree or disagree. But bottom line, if God gives you an opportunity, I just shared with you where most of you already threw away a couple. How many people have seen a paperclip? Wouldn't you like to bend in the room when the guy goes, it holds the paper. And then he patents it and he becomes a millionaire. Velcro was discovered by accident. Sticky notes. 3M was trying to figure out a new adhesive. The guy got so mad that he did it and it wouldn't set up. And he grabbed the piece of paper and he slapped it on the wall and left. He came back the next day going, man, how many people in this room have ever felt like you failed? So what? Try again. And he came the next day and he grabbed that piece of paper and go, I'm going to get in trouble for that. And he pulled it off the wall and it still had the glue to it and it didn't take any paint. Wow! It never sets up. The guy now is a multi-millionaire. People do things each and every day because they try. You need to try. Bottom line, what I say here doesn't make a difference. There's three groups of people. The first group of people are saying, listen, this is not for me. I still appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I please thank you very much for coming here. But bottom line, if you know some people that need to get better health, and they also need to be in a situation where, you know, to refer us to people that need extra money. How many people know that a lot of people need some extra money? Right now, LA has got double-digit unemployment. Dodger Stadium just ran an ad for 500 part-time people. 4,500 people showed up. There's people out there that need help. We need your help to get to them. So if this is not for you, maybe just try out the product. The second group of people are saying, wow, this sounds interesting, this sounds good, but I need to get the facts. I see some of the new people in the room. You better get the facts before you make a decision. Where did we learn that? School. School system taught us not to try. You want me to prove it to you? You take a test, and as you're taking your test, this teacher says, before you answer the questions, if you get to a question that you don't know, don't fill in the answer. If you want to be good in this industry, guess what? You're one of these people where you looked at it, you didn't know the answer, and you went, I haven't had a B in a while. And when you got done, your test looked like a happy face. Yeah, you guys got to understand that I was told, I'm very dyslexic. I was told I was never amount to anything. I'm glad I didn't listen. I was told that I had ADD. And for those of you that don't know this, ADD stands for attention deficit. That is a nice camera. Wait a minute, where was I? Anyway, I like being special. I don't want to be average. How many people in this room want to be average? Stop being average, be you. And so the bottom line here is that for those of you that want to get the facts, when have you had all the facts to anything? Why are we taught that stupid stuff? How many people in this room have been in a relationship? Did you get all the facts? How many people have been married? More than once. Did you get all the facts? How many people in this room have children? Did you get all the facts? Sometimes you just have to come from your heart. So I hope there was something that I said today that sounded right, something felt good, you know, something looked good. But trust your instincts. And don't listen to broke people. Don't look at this, get all excited, and then look at people that you know and go, what do you think? And they go, I don't think it'll work. If you look at their opinion, you get their lifestyle. So I was told if you want to know what your income's going to be 5 years from now, take the 5 people that you hang around the most and average out their income. And that's what will be your income. I'm not telling you to get rid of your family and friends. I'm not. But I'm saying add a couple of people from Gano Excel around you and it will raise the curve. Okay? And the third group of people are going, listen, this is a long presentation for most documented nutrition on the planet, something new coming from Asia to the United States that can make people healthy and wealthy. You put it in coffee and tea that people use every day, and if I get them to be customers and they like it, you pay me every week. I got it. Makes sense. It makes sense. So I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this online or the DVD or in this audience, but please make your life the best you can be. You never know how long it's going to last. The older I get, the more I start seeing that I'm losing people. People that are close friends. People that are family members. And it just blows me away as I don't want to be one of those people that left this planet without doing the best I could do. Because whether you believe this or not, people ask me why I do this. I know this might be against your spiritual beliefs, but this is what I believe. This is what drives me. This is what keeps me going every day. I don't want to be one of those people that when the cops and the police officers stop an intersection for a hearse to go by, that it's only followed by 2 people. Oh my God, that just gets me. You know, the family was the only people. I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person where they have to shut the freeway down. And it's going to be a giant party. And whether you believe this or not, I just want to stand in front of my Maker. And what if this is all they say? What did you do with the years that I gave you to deserve to come into this kingdom? What did you do? And before I open up my mouth, I want hundreds of thousands of people that are already up there go, let him in! Let that guy in! So if your time here today, working with me, only allows us to touch 1 or 2 people that can change their life, change their family, and change everyone around it, then guess what? Then all our time was worth it. Take care. God bless. Hi, my name is Robert Hollis, and if you're watching this, the first thing I want to do is congratulate you, because this segment is called How to Get Started. If you're watching this, I want you to know for a fact, like I've said on the other tapes, is I know for a fact that you can do this. And here's what's the incredible thing. Do you know how many percentage of the people in the world actually will bet on them? Less than 10% of the people will actually try something different to change the outcome of their life, change the outcome of their health, and also their family. So just by you looking at the get started part shows me what kind of person you are. And you should congratulate yourself. Now, the first thing that you need to do is just 4 simple steps. What's amazing about this business is it's got to be simple for an auto mechanic from North Dakota to do this. So it's 4 simple steps. The first step is very simply get started. Just enroll. Now, our company has 2 things that you can do to get enrolled. One is you can get started at $25, which basically just locks you in. It's like an application fee. But we also have what is called the Smart Start. That's a $30 package, and get this. You get to pick the products that you want that equal more than $30. The kit is waived, the application is waived, plus you get 3 websites to start marketing your business. So the first thing you need to do is just get started. It's the first step. The second step is you also can start at one of our advanced packages. We have an Executive Success Pack 1, 2, and 3. Now, guess what? When you pick one of those, the more you can afford, the more inventory you have, the faster you can build your business. But I totally understand. When I first got involved in this industry, I didn't have a lot of money. But you can get started at the Exec Success Pack 1, which is $195, the Exec Success Pack 2, which is $495, where you get $500 worth of product, and also the Exec Success Pack 3, which is $995 and over $1,000 worth of product. And so you got all these samples. It's always funny that people always come to me all the time. They go, well, why do I have to pay money for inventory? This is not a job. We all know what jobs do to people. It makes them broke, just over broke. Okay? So bottom line, we want to get you into your own business. Your own business will teach you word for word, step by step, how to do that. But if you're going to start a small vending, you wouldn't start with an empty wagon, would you? If you're starting a McDonald's, you wouldn't start it with no hamburgers. So get started where you can afford. Now here's an important part too. At any time you can upgrade yourself, and also you can work yourself to exact ESP 1, 2, or 3. So pick the best place to get started. Now what you need to do is qualify your position. What you need to do is do $50 in personal volume. Now when you start at the Smart Start at $30, when you first get started, you can order $50 worth of personal volume then, or add it later. But you have to do $50 in personal volume to basically activate your position. The next step is you have to show this and share it with 2 people, one on your left team and one on your right team. And they each have to do $50 in personal volume. What's great about the executive service packs 1, 2, and 3 is that each one of them have commissionable value that actually goes into that. So an example, if someone started as an ESP1, one on your left and one on your right, you're now qualified. So that's what you need to do to start earning commissions. What I love about being an ESP 1, 2, or 3 is you can make money right away. Some of you are watching this and saying, listen, I need to make money immediately. If you do, and you can find a way to start at one of those packages, and you get somebody else and we'll help you do that, get started at that package, you've got already a fast start bonus coming to you right away. So you can get one on one and one on the other, and then start building this. Now as you go out there and build your group, all you got to do now is start helping people. Follow our proven system. Follow our proven system, because you just need to pay attention. The bottom line, if you wanted to be a doctor, are you the kind of person that's smart enough to go to school? I hope you are. I was an auto mechanic. I went to school. So please get involved in this, because I want you to understand this is not one of those get-rich-quick schemes. But I hope it's better than probably the program you're currently on, which is getting broke very slow. Okay? You know what I mean? So get in this company and learn. It's not going to happen overnight. Everyone gets in these things where they think it's they get rich quick, or I want it to happen overnight. We're in the instant society. We want our food right away. We want everything right away. So please understand, get in this and learn how to do this, because 2 will turn into 4, and 4 will turn into 8. Will it work perfectly? No. Some people will bring in 0, and some people will bring in 800, like my friend Fred. Okay? So please understand that you get to just introduce this to as many people as you can. Please look on the internet, because we constantly have trainings to show you word for word, step by step, how to do this. Also make sure to check out our local training events, also our regional training events, and our international training events. I know for a fact that you can do this, because an auto mechanic from North Dakota did this. But you got to be willing to be coachable. You got to be willing to do the things that have to be done. Everything that we do is very, very simple. It's very easy. But as you know, it's very easy not to. So we're going to show you word for word, step by step on how to do this. So just to round up really quickly, first one, enroll. Pick the $25 or the $30 in product and get your application and kit waived. 2, where to get started. You want to figure out what position you can get started at. And then the third one is pay attention and get taught exactly how to do this. Now there is a 4 steps to success, and this is the last one. You want to be able to put a list of people that you know. I just recently introduced this to some people, and immediately started thinking, wow, who do I know that could help this with their health? Who do I know that can help with their finances? And you need to put a list together. A lot of people always say to me, well, why do you need me? We need you because the asset you bring is not only you as an asset, and you are one, but you also know people that we don't know. So we'll show you that the product works, we'll show you the compensation plan works, and now you got to give us a list of people. A lot of people go, you know what, I don't want to talk to my family and friends. Why? Don't they like you? I mean, I always see this all the time, and it never ever ceases to amaze me. Let me finish this with a story. If you can feel the wind, feel it. If you can feel the sun, feel it. If you can hear the birds, feel it. Imagine being in a situation where you get up early, really, really early, and it's way before work. And so all of a sudden you're in a position where you're going to go for a drive. So as you're driving down this road and you haven't taken it, and then all of a sudden you see a pathway that you've never seen before. And you can see that there's tracks down it, but guess what? There's grass that is sort of growing in there. So you drive down there, and then all of a sudden you see these mountains, and all of a sudden you decide to get out, and you can see the dew on the grass, and the sun's just coming up. Total peace. And all of a sudden you're walking around, and you see, like, you look, and there's a hole that looks like a cave, and it's covered with some brush. And so what you do, and you go over there, and you're sort of, going, wow, I wonder what this is. And so you move the grass away, and it is a cave. And you start walking in, it starts getting darker and darker. And so what you do is you walk in there and you turn the corner, and you can't believe it, but here's this incredible pile of gold. All these gold coins. And you sit there and you look at it, and the shine, and it's just gleaming. And you're going, man, you look at it, you bite it, and you're going, look, this is for real. So what do? You run an ad in the paper. No! If it's real gold, wouldn't you be taking off your shirt? And some of you ladies, that's okay. You know what I mean? And you start putting it in your pants. You start tying your sleeves, and you start filling it full of gold. And you take it out, and you put it in your car, and you start putting it in the trunk. You start putting it in the back seat. And you're driving home, and the bumper's scraping. You know what I mean? And you're driving home, and you pull up, and you come up, and you got to get excited about this. You guys are right now standing in knee-deep gold, and you need to bend over and pick it up. You got to believe me. So the first thing that you got to do is, how would you treat your significant other? How would you treat your friends? See, if you pulled up to your house and your family was there, you'd be honking your horn, open the garage! And you'd be battling it out. You'd get your family and friends to help you start putting it in the garage. You'd be telling them. And you go back and get another load. You go back and get another load. Then all of a sudden you go back there and there's something weird. You don't know what it is, and you can't put your finger on it, but there's something weird about this pile of gold. So you take a stick and you draw it around the edge of the pile. And all your friends and family are there now. Everyone's filling it up, right? And they won't call their family and friends. No, they would. People always ask me all the time, how do you do this business? You got to be excited about your future. You got to be excited. So when you start calling people, you go back, you get another load, you're coming back, you're calling your family and friends. Now, what if you turned around and you called them and you said, hey, listen, you're not going to believe this, Ruben. Oh, my God, you got to check this out. And he goes, what is it? Click. DJ. See, when people call you up and go, what is this? You can't. Are you sure it's real gold? You're out of your mind. Have you been drinking again? I told you to stop drugs. There's always going to be negative people. There's always going to be negative people. Don't let them affect you. See, I believe that negative people are put on this planet to stop you from getting where you need to go. All right? So you just got to go and you got to say as little as possible to as many people as you can. Then you go back to get it, and your suspicions is exactly what you thought. You can't see the line. For every piece of gold you're taking, another two come back. And pretty soon, guess what? The gold pile is going to be out. That little trail that you did is now worn. People can see it. Other people are seeing people coming in and out of there like crazy. Oh my God. It's not going to take long, and the whole world is going to find out about this. So what you got to do is you got to get excited. There's enough of it to go around. The more we build this, the more it builds. The more money. There's ample money. For those of you that believe that scarcity, there's scarcity, there's not enough. That's not how the universe works. This company will go to 100 million. It will go to 1 billion. It will go to 1 billion a year. And it'll go to 1 billion a month. Without a shadow of a doubt. And you got to get your family and friends to get them down here. You got to get them to see it. Let them make a decision whether it's not the right timing for them. But I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see people in this company on Fortune magazine. We're right now doing stuff where we're going to be in interviews on some pretty big people that you know. I mean, trust me, Oprah will do a show on a berry. She'll do a show on a mushroom. And you want to be in position with all your family and friends when that explosion happens. Okay? So don't be holding off on people. Let them say yes or no. If people say no, then say, listen, could you do me another favor? What? Who do you know that needs to be? Who do you know that needs to make extra money? Who do you know that needs extra people? So you need to put a list together. Don't judge people. That is not your job. Don't judge people, because I promise you, there's some people here in this room that would have not invited me. You wouldn't have called me. I was a guy that had a bad attitude. How many people you know that are blaming everything? See, I did what I was told. I went to school. All of a sudden, I got hurt and put on workman's comp. And now my whole career is gone. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, there was 2 months where you would have not have liked hanging around me. Because everything I talked about was negative. Why? Because I was hurt. I didn't know what I was going to do. But thank God someone seen through that, invited me down to one of these meetings so I could make my own decision. Now I don't have to work for anybody ever again. But you got to put their name on the list. What if you're scared to call them? Then let us call them. I'll call anybody. I haven't got through yet, but I heard that Bush is out of a job. Trying to get him on the line. If the guy doesn't get in, he knows some people. How many people got that? You can't be afraid to talk to anybody. But your list is an asset. And you're working directly with people that will show you how to talk to them and how to build them. Let us teach you how to do this. So your asset's your list.